Hi, by now you've seen what the USP is, what a badge is, and how it all comes together. So how do you get involved? The first step is that you fill out a badge setup form. The process typically takes about an hour the first time you do it, and it's a one-time setup. Once completed, you review and approve your badge certificate outputs, and then you're ready to start awarding badges. On this recording, I will walk through what is required to fill out the extracurricular badge setup form. Remember, in order for your activity to be badgeable, it requires a minimum 6 hours of measurable effort. Let's get started. Walking down through the different sections on the co-extracurricular badge setup form. The first section is the title of the activity, so this should be short and clear, maximum 50 characters. This title appears on the badge certificate and on the University Skills Passport Activities Hub, so obviously the width of the certificate is limited, hence the limit of characters. Section 2 is the hosting department, so this should be the department that is hosting this particular activity, whether that be a professional services department, a college or school or discipline. The activity owner contact details, this is your contact details, your name, email address and phone number. It's not published anywhere publicly, it's maintained in the background as a single point of contact that's responsible for administering that badge. Section 4 is the contact us email address, so email correspondence from students inquiring about your badge will be directed to this address, and this will be published on the USP Activities Hub. And finally, section 5 is the activity web page. If you have a web page, please include a URL link to your activity's web page here. Section 6 is the short description of the activity that will appear on the University Skills Passport Activity Hub. So a user might be an external user browsing activities or an existing student exploring activities. So the tone of the text should be engaging, open and welcoming. Essentially, it's your sell. It's describing to a student or someone who knows nothing about the activity why they should get involved. So it may perhaps include a call of action. Join us to unlock your artistic abilities by joining ArtSoc. Section 7 is the target cohort, so please indicate whether your activity is targeting undergraduate, postgraduate or all students. The location of your activity, so whether it's Galway, Shannon, online, Burren College or multiple. Is your participation in your activity paid or unpaid? Section 9. The duration of the activity, section 10. So how long does your activity typically span in weeks? So for example, we might have some activities that span one semester or some activities that span a full academic year. It's very useful for students to know things that are time bound within one semester. For example, visiting students that may only be here for semester 1 may be seeking activities that only happen within that semester or semester 2 and so on. The time commitment in hours, minimum. So when students partake in activities, there's a requirement that each digital badge must be a minimum of 6 hours. However, a number of our digital badges are in excess of that, but you have to state the minimum number of hours that a student must complete in order to meet the criteria to reach the badge. Several students pursuing that activity will in fact contribute several more hours than the minimum, but here we're stating the minimum. Next, the student enrolment practice. So how are students currently enrolled on your activity? Is it an opt-in process? Are they auto-enrolled? Are they elected to a post or other? The tracking and administration tools. What systems do you currently use to administer your award? Are you using Yourspace, Excel, Canvas or other? And section 14, the expiry. So do you have any expiry associated with your digital credential, with your badge? So for example, this might apply when it comes to maybe a health and safety certification, a first aid course, or an external accreditation. The next two sections relate to the visual elements that are associated with the digital badge. So the first, section 15, relates to the badge visual identity. So what do you want your actual digital badge to look like? There are 3 core elements to this. 1, the primary text. 2, the secondary text. Both are capitalized. We've suggested the maximum characters that can be accommodated in the design that's displayed on screen. There is some interplay here. If you have a longer primary text, you can have a shorter secondary text and vice versa. And then most importantly, the image at the center of the badge. So we can work with you to design the image at the center of the badge, or we can incorporate imagery should you already have a visual identity for your activity or an existing digital badge for your activity. So please provide whatever collateral you have in this respect to enable us to generate this with you. If you have existing imagery, we're ideally looking for a PNG SVG file format, 200 by 200 pixels in size. The next, section 16, is we're looking for an image for your activity for the website. So when a student jumps into the USP Activities Hub and they're looking at all of the activities displayed there, each activity is displayed as a tile. At the top of each tile you have this rectangular image. Here on this example of the Makerspace team member badge, you have an example of a young man holding a hand up to the camera. The size is 696 times 312 pixels. So any image really that you want to be applied to your activity on the portal. The next two sections, the badge description and the criteria to earn the digital badge, form the backbone of the badge output itself. In these two sections, you're equipping the student with the language to describe what it is they did, the language to tell the story. There is an interplay between the two sections, so there's only a certain amount of space available on the printable badge certificate output. So if you have a long description, you have a shorter criteria, and vice versa. If you have a shorter description, you can have a longer criteria. We recommend that the combination of both these sections should equate to approximately 150 words, maximum 200 in total. It's best to consider these elements with reference to an example. So please do refer to the completed examples that are provided in the resources for staff when you're trying to write your own description and criteria. Just a couple of specifics: avoid the use of personal pronouns, referencing instead the participant or the student. The description is written in the present simple tense, so students participate in second year undergraduate practical classes, for example, or students are introduced to the technical aspects of, and then the criteria. The criteria are quite explicit. So what must the student do in order to earn the badge? So written again in the present simple tense and typically leading with a verb. So students must attend training, students must complete a follow-up activity as part of the station output. So you're leading with an action verb, and it's a simple, concise, measurable statement. Moving on to section 19, verification. In this section, you're describing the process whereby you verify that the student has met the criteria as specified for the digital badge. So you need to specify whether you are taking attendance, either at events, at training sessions, whether you're looking at completed training records, or you're looking at specific measurable outputs. You might be looking, for example, at a written reflection, or you might be looking at completion of an e-module or completion of specific resources. The last and final section on the form is the skills and dispositions section. Here you select up to 5 skills from the Designing Futures framework. For each skill, you state the skill, and then you specifically state why the student developed that skill when they completed your activity. This should be done in the past tense, leading with an action verb, avoiding personal pronouns. Typically, it's about 4 sentences in length. The Designing Futures Skills Framework is anchored in the University of Galway's graduate attributes, which are embedded in our teaching and learning strategy. Running through a really quick recap of where these various elements on the badge come to life on the actual application itself. Here we're looking at the Activities Hub, and we can see all of the badgeable activities that we've published now to our students. If I click on a specific tile, I can see the various visual elements, so the badge itself that we've discussed, the image for the badge, the title of the badge, the description for the website, the criteria for the badge, the skills tags associated with the badge, the contact us email address should you have one, and find out more brings them to the website URL that you have specified on the badge form itself. And here on the left hand side you can see that students can filter by location, they can filter by skill, or they can filter for activities where participation is paid. Recapping again on the badge output itself, you can see the minimum time commitment in hours associated with the badge, the expiry date where relevant, the title of the badge, the description of the badge, the criteria for the badge, and the skills associated with that badge, so stating the skill and the reason why the student developed that skill. So that's the badge setup form. Remember, there are additional resources available on universityofgalway.ie/USP. So there you'll find the blank form
written guidelines, and also examples of badge outputs from other activities, which may guide you in filling out your own form. If at any stage you need help, please reach out to USP@universityofgalway.ie and the USP team would be delighted to assist you. Thank you.